probably have heard of this disease a couple of times, either from your family, friends, or other people around you. Not surprising since this disease affects men and women of all races. It causes bone to become weak and brittle, so brittle that a fall or even mild stresses, such as bending over or coughing, can cause a fracture. This disease is known as osteoporosis.
Oh, I know osteoporosis. That disease only affects old people.
Well, yes, the disease usually affects old people, and especially older women who are past menopause. They are at higher risk than most people, but that doesn't mean you can't get osteoporosis right now.
Really? I could, but how? What are the causes of it?
The main reason why osteoporosis occurs is the imbalance between new bone formation and old bone resorption. The body may fail to form enough new bone, or too much old bone may reabsorb, or both.
Bones contain cells called osteoclasts and osteoblasts. Osteoclasts are cells that break down bone tissues, while osteoblasts are cells that make new bone tissues using minerals such as calcium and phosphate from the blood. These two minerals are essential for normal bone formation. Hormones such as estrogen, growth hormone, and testosterone help maintain the balance between osteoblasts and osteoclasts so that there will be more bone made than removed.
But if these hormones maintain the balance between growth and removal, then what's the problem?
I've mentioned earlier that this disease usually affects older women who are past menopause. This is because women do not produce estrogen past menopause, thus tipping the balance between the number of osteoclasts and osteoblasts in the bone.
Because of this, there will be more bone removal than bone formation. This type of osteoporosis is called primary osteoporosis.
How about young people? How do they get osteoporosis?
This is the second type of osteoporosis. It affects both children and young adults, usually related to other diseases such as cancer, hormone problems, and certain medications.
What are these conditions? Can you explain any further?
Certain medications like the long-term use of oral or injected corticosteroid medications such as prednisone and cortisone interferes with the bone rebuilding process. Osteoporosis has also been associated with medications used to combat or prevent seizures, gastric reflux, cancer, and transplant rejection. The risk of osteoporosis is also higher in people who have certain medical problems, including celiac disease, inflammatory bowel disease, kidney or liver disease, cancer, lupus, multiple myeloma, and rheumatoid arthritis. Osteoporosis is more common in people who have too much or too little of certain hormones in their bodies. Examples include sex hormones, thyroid problems, and other glands.
I have none of these problems or take any of these medications. Then I don't have anything to worry about, right?
Not really. There are also some risk factors of osteoporosis that are out of your control, including
Your gender. Women are much more likely to develop osteoporosis than are men. Age. The older you get, the greater your risk of osteoporosis. Race. You're at greatest risk of osteoporosis if you're Caucasian or of Asian descent. Family history. Having a parent or sibling with osteoporosis puts you at greater risk, especially if your mother or father experienced a hip fracture. Body frame size. Men and women who have small body frames tend to have a higher risk because they may have less bone mass to draw from as they age.
Really sucks to be an old Asian woman with a small body and a family history of osteoporosis.
Yeah, pretty much. But if you are an old Asian woman with a small body and a family history of osteoporosis, don't worry. There are other risk factors that you can control, such as food consumption and lifestyle choices.
Oh really? What are they?
So, osteoporosis is more likely to occur in people who have these dietary factors, such as
Low calcium intake. A lifelong lack of calcium plays a role in the development of osteoporosis. Low calcium intake contributes to diminished bone density, early bone loss, and an increased risk of fractures. Eating disorders. Severely restricting food intake and being underweight weakens bone in both men and women. Gastrointestinal surgery. Surgery to reduce the size of your stomach or to remove part of the intestine limits the amount of surface area available to absorb nutrients, including calcium. Bad lifestyle choices and habits that can increase your risk of osteoporosis include sedentary lifestyle. People who spend a lot of time sitting have a higher risk of osteoporosis than do those who are more active. Excessive alcohol consumption. Regular consumption of more than 2 alcoholic drinks a day increases your risk of osteoporosis. Tobacco use. The exact role tobacco plays in osteoporosis isn't clearly understood, but it has been shown that tobacco use contributes to weak bones.
And how likely you are to develop both types of osteoporosis also depends partly on how much bone mass you attained in your youth. The higher your peak bone mass, the more bone you have, the less likely you are to develop osteoporosis as you age. Think of it like a bank. The more you save now, the less likely you will be poor in the future.
Wow, those are a lot of factors to consider. How do you even know you have osteoporosis?
Well, there are typically no symptoms in the early stages of bone loss, but who knows, you might be having it right now. But once your bones have been weakened by osteoporosis, you may have signs and symptoms that include
Back pain caused by a fractured or collapsed vertebra, loss of height over time, a stooped posture, a bone fracture that occurs much more easily than expected. Bones that commonly break include the backbones, the bones of the forearm, and the hip.
That sounds awful. Is there any way to prevent osteoporosis from happening?
Of course, you can prevent getting osteoporosis by consuming calcium-rich food. Calcium is essential for building and maintaining bone. Almost 99% of the body's calcium is found in the bones.
You should also get a lot of sunlight for vitamin D. Vitamin D is produced when our skin is exposed to ultraviolet B or UVB light from the sun. It is important for bone health because it helps absorb calcium. It also plays a role in supporting growth and maintenance of the skeleton, regulating calcium levels in the blood. But don't forget to use sunblock while you're out in the sun. You wouldn't want to get osteoporosis, but you also wouldn't want to get skin cancer.
Here is a range of exercises that doesn't and does give osteogenic benefits.